Hello and good day, everyone. Meteorologist Mark Molnar here. Thanks for joining me for this edition of MeteoMark's Weather. Yes, we have a slug of tropical moisture here across the Caribbean. What's going to happen with this? Are we going to see 100+ millimeters of rain from parts of Jamaica, Cuba, and the Bahamas? It looks like this is going to be one persistent moisture plume as the tropics really get energized here across parts of the Western Caribbean. We'll see if this actually has a chance to develop into any sort of tropical system. And as we head towards the weekend, this jet stream plowing out of the desert southwest of the United States could produce a jet stream that could give us a massive severe weather outbreak across parts of the southern plains, including Texas. We'll get into all the details, as well as a weather pattern in the Northeast that's actually bringing us some of the worst air quality from Canadian wildfires on the backside of this low-pressure system. Let's get into it. Satellite photo across the Caribbean shows our moisture plume. This is going to be a big problem the next several days. Let's get into the exact models and take a look at this big old mess here into parts of the Western Caribbean towards the Cayman Islands and just west of Jamaica, south of Cuba. This is going to be heading towards the northeast here. This is going to be producing in excess of 100 millimeters of rainfall. This is a big deal as it heads to the northeast. Let's take a look. So, yeah, the first slug of moisture comes up through early Wednesday morning. You know, Jamaica, you look like you're on just the eastern tip. It looks like Hispaniola, you are out of the woods for the first half of this at least. So watch this. We have several moisture plumes that are going to be coming into play here as we go through 2 p.m., 5 p.m. Look at this, right around Jamaica at 2 p.m. on June 8th. So this is Thursday. Look at this strung out area of low pressure. This is quite a tropical wave. I don't think there's going to be any development out of this, but there is a heck of a lot of tropical moisture. Yeah, that's going to be the big rule here. And look at this. As we get towards the 9th at 2 p.m., we still have rainfall continuing to redevelop here over Jamaica. So look at that. There's Cuba, eastern Cuba. Look at Hispaniola staying out of the woods of this heavy rain. The eastern Bahamas, you are under the gun as well. The southeastern Bahamas really getting in on this. And this strings all the way up to Bermuda. Look at this. This is one heck of a moisture plume here. And as we continue in time, take a look at that. That just kind of continues stationary through the 10th and the 11th. Look at this. We're going to continue. It is going to keep you cooler here in Jamaica. I know some of you have posted in the comments down below that that's the good news, is it takes some of that really hotness out of the air, which is great. And look at that. We continue to see development of tropical moisture into the Western Caribbean as we get towards the 12th. Look at this. This is quite a slug of moisture. It starts to weaken, though, towards the 13th. If we take a look at the big picture, you can actually see what's in control of the tropics here. This looks like a middle of the summertime pattern. This does not look like early June. This looks like the middle of summer, a big old Bermuda high, and we're going to start to see those tropical waves here head around it like this. So let's continue to go in time, see if we have any chances of anything developing here into the main development region of the Atlantic, Caribbean, or Gulf of Mexico. Well, you can see these low-pressure systems in the northeast Atlantic. They continue to bounce around. We do have a tropical wave by this point, though. This is towards, you can see the 14th here. And look at this, some even stronger waves coming off the coast of Africa here. So we're going to have to keep an eye on this. But, you know, in the short term, it's going to be that big old heavy rain across parts of the Western Caribbean. And your rainfall here across the Caribbean promises to be quite a bit. Anywhere in the yellow, 100 millimeters or more, likely to 100 to 150 eastern Bahamas, east central Cuba. Western part of Jamaica has the best chance of reaching 100 millimeters or more. Eastern Cayman Islands. So at this point, if you're into the orange zones, probably 150 plus. It's looking better in Jamaica, especially eastern Jamaica, where you could be into the 60 to 90 millimeter range, locally higher. So keep an eye on this. This is a flooding problem in some areas. And as we take a look at our area out towards the Azores, just west of Portugal and Spain, 10% chance through days 2 through 7. This system, I don't think it has too much of a chance of development. It is going to be heading over cooler waters as it pinwheels here towards the east. You can see it does so pretty quickly towards the 7th, the 8th, and it pivots towards Western Europe, and another low-pressure system takes its place around the 11th or 12th. So it's going to be a busy time of it out here towards the Azores. And this hazy look to the satellite view in the northeast, that's right, this is mostly all smoke you can see. This is a lot of smoke, and it looks like it's going to be getting thicker as we head through Wednesday and Thursday. All right, so as we take a look at our HRRR Future Radar, this is what we got going on here across the northeast. Yes, you got that pinwheeling low pressure here in the Canadian Maritimes. It's great news for eastern New England, but look at all this smoke that's going to continue to pour in behind this system with those Quebec fires up here. Some showers and thunderstorms here into the Ohio Valley, but, you know, from Cleveland, Erie, Buffalo, you are going to remain dry, very dry. And look at here into parts of Texas in the south, those pop-up, again, showers and thunderstorms. We're going to continue to watch as we go into the overnight hours. Look what's going on here across the northeast. So that system is going to head slightly west here. That's going to pull that smoke down even worse here. So Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday might be worse smoke days here into the northeast. Not good. Showers and thunderstorms developing. Thankfully, these won't be widespread severe across Texas and all the way up into the Rocky Mountains and the northern plains, northern and central plains. Now, look what's going on here across parts of the Bahamas. We got a big slug of tropical moisture here into South Florida as well, the east coast of Florida, and this big old complex of thunderstorms out over the eastern Gulf. I don't expect that to develop, but look at here as we go throughout the rest of into early Thursday morning. So, yeah, this low pressure is just hanging out in the northeast, and unfortunately that trajectory for the smoke continues here for the northeast. Not good for your air quality. Here across Texas, we'll see some showers and thunderstorms continuing. Thankfully, they won't be too terribly severe until we get to about 2 p.m. on Thursday. Some of these could actually put down some large hail and damaging wind, and we'll have to watch the northern plains here as well. And look at here across the northeast. As long as we don't get any just dry lightning strikes, showers and thunderstorms, that looks pretty good if you can get some here, but the smoke may preclude, especially a lot of this on the back end of the system. So let's hope for some rain here across parts of the northeast. So take a look at the GFS. I'm going to show you the European model momentarily in great detail. There it is across the northeast. Look at that low pressure system. You are going to get some big time smoke here on the back side of it, unfortunately, with all those Quebec wildfires here. Lots of beneficial rains here into eastern New England, especially northern Maine. But here we go. Take a look at this weather pattern that sets in. I'm going to give you a generalized view here. You can see as we head through the 9th, the 10th, it really doesn't change much, does it? Until we start to get into more severe weather as we get towards the 10th and the 11th here. Parts of the southern plains, Dallas area, Oklahoma City, you're going to have to watch out for some big-time severe weather later on the 10th, which is right in the middle of your weekend, Saturday. So please stay tuned. It looks like we could have some big-time severe weather. And as we continue, look at that across the northeast. We try to eke out, a sunny day Saturday and possibly without smoke. That would be great, wouldn't it? Some better air quality. Breathe easier. But look at this. This is interesting because the European model's kind of showing kind of a similar situation, as we head into early next week, Sunday and Monday. We'll see if this actually holds true, if it actually gets into, because here's the thing. We have a blocking high offshore here, and we have another massive high up here. If this low pressure system can find a way between these two high pressure systems, it would actually bring some beneficial rains the 12th, the 13th, and the 14th possibly here. So take a look at that. That would be some good news. And then maybe another system pushing in from the Ohio Valley. This is right around the 14th. Look at this. This would even bring some heavy rains and maybe severe weather as far north as Cleveland and Detroit here around the 14th. And look at that. There's our last frame. So we'll have to see if these low pressure systems can actually run through these blocking highs. And before I continue with the rest of your weather forecast, Here is a quick, exciting, special announcement. I am proud to announce that I am now an affiliate with Trilogy Maps. TrilogyMaps.com, bringing you the most digital, customizable maps found nowhere else on the internet. These maps are simply stunning. It's an advanced layering system that makes these maps great for making forecast maps with ease or any other maps that you would like to display important information on. The resolution on these maps is simply amazing. From the detail of everything here in the States, and you can also create stunning, digital, professional layered maps from also across the entire world. And don't forget, in checkout, the discount code option, use my code, MeteoMark, hit apply, and you will get 20% off your order. So if you want the most professional, customizable, and affordable weather maps found nowhere else on the internet, look no further than TrilogyMaps.com. Link in the description down below along with your discount code. All right, so as you can see on the European model here, this trough across the Northeast only strengthens. Unfortunately, that's going to continue to funnel this smoke on the backside of this trough. So across the southern plains, unfortunately, especially as we head into the weekend, this digging trough, this is going to help bring that severe weather. And look at the ridge across Canada. This is just not a good pattern. Drought, drought, drought. It does not look like this pattern. Look, as we go through June 15th here, 16th, it's just not lifting anytime soon. So taking a look at our European run here, this is what we got going on. We're going to continue to see this horrible pattern here for the Northeast, bringing that smoke from Canada literally due south just like this. So it's going to continue through much of the rest of the week. There's that area off the coast retreating, showers and thunderstorms as well. So that kind of kicks out to the east here as we head into later Wednesday into Thursday. You can see across the Northeast, we got some scattered showers here into New England as well, here along the southeast coast as well. So look at that. High pressure building across the central part of the country. That's quickly taken away as that moves quickly up towards the Midwest here. And you got showers and thunderstorms kicking in here. Let's just go back. There it is. So here we have it. So this pattern is going to be a very stubborn pattern. This trough across the east, that's going to continue to funnel the smoke southward. Air quality is going to be terrible here, continuing Wednesday, Thursday, and even part of Friday. Now, Friday, we might see something, happen here on the backside of this trough. This is in response with that low pressure off the coastline with that associated trough. This might give us some beneficial rain, which you really do need some rain because we also have, the red flag warnings going into effect as well. But look what also is happening here across the central part of the country. You got this digging trough out west, too, in this jet stream. There's going to be some big-time thunderstorms kicking in as well. So please stay tuned to that. We're going to have multiple rounds of this. Look at the Dallas-Fort Worth area by this weekend. Yeah, this is not good as this low pressure kicks off from New Mexico into Texas here. And we could be looking at some big, strong thunderstorms all the way from the Gulf Coast all the way up to Nebraska here. So if you're in this area, please stay tuned. It looks like a rough weekend. And look at this. This is just crazy to even think about how, we finally start to possibly maybe lift this trough out of the Northeast. Here's our next storm moving towards the Ohio Valley. So there it is. It's very well entrenched, though. It doesn't seem to be able to head much to the Northeast as this high pressure really builds in. I hate to say it, but you're on the east end of this high pressure again, Northeast. Will we be going into another week here of smoke and haze and terrible air quality? Well, we'll have to see. This low tries to make it a little bit to the east, but look at this blocking pattern we're in here. You got a double barrel high. This low pressure has nowhere to go. We continue to see this jet stream kicking out of the west, and that is going to re-energize those showers and thunderstorms. Now, look what starts to happen towards the 13th here next Tuesday. Yes, this low pressure starts to just kind of basically occlude here, so it's weakening, but it starts to tap into some tropical moisture here. Now, I'll have to see on future runs whether this is going to hold true, but this could actually bring some beneficial rains here to the Northeast. And look at here. across the central and southern plains, we're going to continue to see those strong to severe thunderstorms kicking in. It's just going to be a very bad pattern. Basically, what you see now is what you get 7, 8, 9 days from now, unfortunately. That's going to head east. Severe weather heading east. Look at this. More showers and thunderstorms across the east. Look at that trough. Yeah, if there's any wildfires going, that, if we can get some rain here into eastern Canada, that would be great. But it's really tough. And look at this. We're going to see multiple severe weather events here as well across the southeast here. So that's not looking good. We're heading into a very active weather pattern despite it being one of those broken record patterns. Look at this area of high pressure across eastern Canada, really suppressing any rainfall to be had. So let's actually take a look here. A total liquid equivalent precipitation as we go through Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So we'll just take it through the weekend first. Yeah, the plains here, you're going to see anywhere from 3/4 to 1 3/4 inches here. That's, that seems to be the average here. Thankfully, Texas, you're not seeing the big time flooding. Look at this tropical moisture here as well. That is tremendous. Those are the totals there from central Cuba up to the eastern Bahamas. It's not looking good there. And then look at the northeast here. We'll actually zoom into the northeast, see if you're going to get any beneficial rain. There's, where the fires are happening up here in Canada, you really could use a lot more than just that. So zooming into the northeast here, what do we got? So this is what's left on Tuesday. It's not much. And Wednesday into Thursday. So yeah, if you add this up, but you know what? Going out this far, this is not a lot. We'll just stop it right there because I don't know if this system... Now, if this could happen, this would be great for the Northeast, but I'm not completely sold on that solution just yet. I'm not sure if that low-pressure system can bust through these double high-pressure systems. So, here we go. Yeah, this is not... this is great news for northern New England. But for the most part, most of Southeast Canada here, parts of New York, Pennsylvania, this is just not enough rain to get rid of this air quality problem as well as wildfire problem. And Joe Drehos here from June 6th, one of the smokiest days we've seen so far. Yeah, this is what's been going on. This is the strange effect you get with the sun. It just is crazy. Yeah. So we're going to see at least a couple more days like this, across the Johnson City, New York area, much of upstate New York, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and parts of New England as well. And this is the sun I captured as well from MeteoMark Weather Studios on June 6th as well. Take a look at that. So, yeah, previous photo, nice capture there, Joe Drehos. And I was capturing this a little bit earlier in the day, just after we had the worst of the smoke. This was crazy. It's like rings around the sun here. Sun is extremely orange. It is eerie, to say the least. And here we go, John sending in his severe thunderstorms in Islip, New York here on Tuesday. So getting some big-time thunderstorms rolling through the area. Thankfully, hopefully that's bringing some slightly better air quality in those areas that are getting the thunderstorms. Nice captures here, John. All right, so we have Tropical Storm Guchol out here by the Japanese Weather Service. It is newly formed. It is going to go up probably as high as 90 to 100 mile per hour, might even break higher than that. Now, here is the Philippines over here. We're going to see how close it gets. Taiwan's right here, the coast of China, up here, Japan, and South Korea. So watch this unfold. We're going to see just how strong this system could get. So here we go. We're going to move a little bit farther to the west here. This system through June 9th, June 10th. You start to see it strengthens pretty rapidly. Is this going to be a big deal to Japan? Well, let's take a look, see if this thing can actually turn quick, because there is a frontal boundary here to the north that's actually going to be steering this storm. You can see there's the cold front, and let's see if this actually protects Japan. So if we get towards the 11th, here's the 12th. So we're sitting right off the coast of Tokyo here, thankfully. You can see all of its moisture to the south. There's the moisture with the frontal boundary. This does look like a miss for Japan, which is great news. Take a look at that. So that kind of heads up to this direction. This time of year, those westerly storms do have a tendency to protect Japan. So what else is going on in the tropics? There is another feature here. Let me just back up here as we go to the Philippines here. There is going to be some heavy rain just southwest of the Philippines as we get that return flow in the wake of Guchol here. So watch what happens here as we unfold this system as it heads to the northeast. You kind of see in the wake of the storm, it does get a little bit dry initially, and then look at this. We start to get some shower and thunderstorm action. This could be quite significant here, especially in the central and northern Philippines as we head through June 11th. Take a look at that. So yeah, heavy rain is on the way. Look at this in the westerlies up here into Taiwan, off the coast of China. We could be looking at plenty of tropical moisture here. So if you're in the northern Philippines, that is probably your best chance of heavy rainfall as we go over the next week, as well as the central Philippines. Southern Philippines look a little bit drier as well. So take a look at that as we continue in time. Is there anything else to look forward to development-wise here? Well, the intertropical convergence zone really starts to look extremely active out here. The Western Pacific is definitely starting off pretty active out here. And as we continue in time, there's our last frame. There's another front sit here, but these tail ends of these fronts this time of year, just south of Taiwan, north of the Philippines, we have to watch those for potential development. And over here in the Indian Ocean, we have a cyclone. Cyclone Biparjoy here. Take a look at this. Yep, this is going to be an interesting system as well. As we go out in time, this system's going to push towards the north. It's going to strengthen pretty rapidly here. So let's take a look. You can see it's going to have a pretty good structure on it here. So this takes us through June 8th, June 9th, June 10th, June 11th, June 12th, June 13th, 14th, and then it starts to come up here towards land towards the 16th. It does thankfully look a lot weaker here, though. So that is the good news. We have plenty of time to watch this, but then it does, you see the model here, it does re-strengthen it right before landfall. So we are going to take a close look at this. We have plenty of time to watch it. So as we take a look at our temperatures here, look at this. Yeah, we're going to be dealing with cooler temperatures in the northeast with those clouds and the smoke, and in northern New England, some showers. And you can see as we go through Thursday, that persists. Major heat wave building here in the central states, cooling down a little bit out west here. Look at baking here along the Gulf Coast well into the 90s. The northeast will still be dealing with that smoke continuing. But look at this. By Friday, we start to see some silver lining here. The heat and humidity will be building back to the north here. And look at this. We'll be getting some mid to upper 80s into across parts of southeastern Pennsylvania. Texas, though, look at Saturday. This is going to feed into a severe weather outbreak across Texas, and that is not good news. Florida baking as well. Look at this across the northeast. We're holding in the nice, comfortable 70s, mid to upper 70s by Sunday, and then you can see it on Monday, June 12th here. We get a little bit of a cool shot, but, you know, you're mostly into the upper 70s here across the northeast. Look at this. This heat building. Will this build to the east? That remains to be seen. Extended outlook from a hometown viewers being into the Scranton's Upper Susquehanna Valley of New York and Pennsylvania. Take a look at this. Yes, we're dealing with smoke and haze Wednesday through Friday here. There is a chance of showers and thunderstorms Thursday and Friday. The problem with this is we're going to see those air pollution sensors being in excess of 100, likely 150, 200, and some of those deeper valleys into the 250 range. And that's, you know, anywhere from red and all the way up to the purple, which is terrible air quality. This is going to be a thing as the Canadian fires rage across eastern Canada, Quebec in particular. And look at that. Saturday, we finally clear it out, hopefully 74, and Sunday, 80 degrees with a chance of a shower. As always, thanks for joining me for this edition of MeteoMark's Weather. Take a look at the links down below. I have my affiliate link for Trilogy maps, so if you want to get some of those, I do make a commission off those. I just wanted to disclose that, but go ahead and use the code MeteoMark to save 20%. Also, visit my Hurricane 2023 Outlook if you haven't already. Link at the end of this video and description down below. Don't forget Facebook MeteoMark, also Weather Northeastern, also Hurricane Northeastern for my tropical page, at MeteoMark.com, WeatherNortheastern.com, Twitter at Weather Eastern. Thank you for joining me.